Do you feel stuck, weighed down by invisible burdens, habits that drain your energy, thoughts that hold you back, and people who dim your light? You're not alone. But here's the truth. The life you want isn't out of reach. It's just buried beneath the things you need to let go of. The reality is, we often think that improving our lives requires adding something new, a better job, bigger goals, or a dramatic change. But the great Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, taught us this timeless wisdom. Remove before you add. It is what you quietly eliminate that holds the key to freedom, peace, and the strength to live a truly meaningful life. In this video, we'll uncover 13 toxic elements silently holding you back: negative self-talk, perfectionism, unnecessary goals, and more. These aren't minor tweaks, but powerful shifts that can transform your mindset, relationships, and purpose. Stay until the end, because even removing one of these could unlock the clarity and peace you've been searching for. This isn't just a video, it's your wake-up call. Are you ready to clear the path to your best life? Let's dive in. 1. Victim mentality. Stop blaming and take back control. Do you ever feel like the world is unfairly stacked against you? That no matter what you do, someone or something else is always to blame for your circumstances? This mindset, often called victim mentality, is like an invisible chain that holds you back. While it's comforting to believe that the obstacles in your life are someone else's fault, a difficult boss, a tough upbringing, or bad luck, it robs you of the one thing you truly have control over: your ability to choose how you respond. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Imagine this. A young artist named Sarah spends her days frustrated, blaming her lack of success on the oversaturation of social media and the favoritism in the art world. One day, a mentor asks her a simple but transformative question: "What have you done today to make your art impossible to ignore?" That question hit her like a lightning bolt. Instead of focusing on factors she couldn't control, Sarah began refining her skills, networking purposefully, and sharing her work boldly. Within a year, she saw opportunities she never imagined, all because she shifted from blame to action. The victim mentality often disguises itself as self-preservation. It tells you, it's not your fault, you're powerless here. But this belief, while comforting in the short term, leaves you stagnant. When you point fingers at circumstances or others, you hand over the power to change your life. True freedom begins when you reclaim that power and ask yourself, what can I do to change my situation today? Here's a practical challenge. Write down one area of your life where you've felt stuck. Then, instead of listing reasons why you can't change it, write down 3 actions you can take to improve the situation. For example, if you feel undervalued at work, instead of blaming your boss, could you ask for feedback, showcase your strengths more often, or even consider finding a new role that aligns with your values? Victim mentality thrives in silence and isolation. Let's break that cycle here. Share in the comments. What's one way you've shifted from blame to action in your life? Your story could inspire someone else to take their first step toward freedom. Remember, letting go of blame doesn't mean ignoring injustice. It means refusing to let it define you. When you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as an agent of change, you unlock the power to shape your own destiny. So what's one small action you can take today to break free from the chains of victim mentality? Start now, because your life is waiting for you to take control. 2. Negative self-talk. Turn your inner voice into an ally. Do you often catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," or I'll probably fail. Negative self-talk can feel like an unrelenting shadow, quietly eroding your confidence and holding you back from reaching your potential. These thoughts seem harmless at first, but they build walls between you and your goals. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What you think about yourself determines how you act." The key to unlocking your best self lies in transforming that inner critic into a trusted ally. Consider this. Anna, a marketing executive, was paralyzed by the fear of public speaking. She convinced herself that she would stumble, forget her points, or embarrass herself in front of her team. Her constant self-doubt only heightened her anxiety. One day, after an unsuccessful presentation, a colleague gently asked her, "What if you started believing in yourself, even just for one presentation?" That question sparked a shift. Anna began writing down one positive thing she did after every meeting, no matter how small. Over time, she replaced her critical inner monologue with affirmations like, "I'm improving with every attempt." A few months later, she delivered a presentation with confidence and even received praise for her clarity and poise. Negative self-talk is a habit, but like any habit, it can be broken and replaced. Start by identifying the common negative thoughts that run through your mind. Then challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought really true, or is it fear speaking? Replace statements like, "I can't do this," with, "I'm learning and improving every day." Build a practice of celebrating small wins by journaling 3 positive things you accomplished each day. These simple steps rewire your brain, making your inner voice a source of encouragement rather than discouragement. Here's a practical challenge for you. Write down one area where negative self-talk holds you back. Next, create 3 empowering statements to counter those doubts. For example, if you think, "I'm terrible at presentations," reframe it as, "I'm becoming a better speaker with every opportunity." Practice saying these affirmations daily and watch how they shift your mindset. Now imagine if you spoke to yourself the way you would encourage a close friend. What would change? Share your story in the comments. What's one way you've shifted your inner dialogue, and how did it impact your life? Your journey could inspire someone else to transform their inner voice. Remember, your inner dialogue shapes your reality. When you silence the critic and embrace self-compassion, you'll find the confidence to take on challenges, grow, and achieve more than you ever thought possible. The question is, what will you say to yourself today? Choose wisely, because your words have power. 3. Negative relationships. Only choose worthy companions. Do you ever feel drained after interacting with certain people, as if they've taken more than they've given? These are the negative relationships that quietly consume your energy and hold you back from growing into your best self. While relationships are meant to nurture, some do the exact opposite. They burden, criticize, and take without reciprocating. The Stoics teach us to be intentional about who we allow into our lives. Imagine living by this principle. Surround yourself with those who lift you up and inspire you. Let's explore this through a relatable story. Jake was an ambitious young professional who wanted to build a meaningful life. Yet he had a close friend, Steve, who only reached out when he needed a favor, whether it was borrowing money, emotional support, or professional connections. When Jake needed help, Steve was always too busy. Over time, Jake realized their friendship was one-sided, draining his energy and distracting him from his goals. After much reflection, he made a difficult choice. He set boundaries, limiting how much time and energy he invested in that friendship. Instead, Jake focused on building relationships with colleagues and mentors who inspired him. Within months, his life felt lighter and his confidence and productivity soared. Negative relationships often thrive because we avoid confrontation or cling to guilt. But the truth is, choosing your companions wisely is an act of self-respect. Start by asking yourself, who adds value to my life and who drains it? Identify the people who make you feel exhausted or unworthy. Set clear boundaries with them, whether it's limiting interactions or redefining the terms of your relationship. Then, actively seek out those who uplift and inspire you, friends, mentors, or family members who believe in you and help you grow. Here's a challenge for you. Write down 3 people in your life who leave you feeling energized and 3 who leave you feeling drained. Consider how you can spend more time with the positive influences and set boundaries with the others. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but remember, protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary for your growth. Now, think about this. If your closest relationships shape your mindset and energy, are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Share in the comments. What's one way you've set boundaries or strengthened a positive relationship? Your story could inspire someone else to take action. Remember, you are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. When you surround yourself with worthy companions, you create a life filled with positivity, inspiration, and purpose. So, who will you choose to journey with? Make your choice today. Your future self will thank you. 4. The comfort zone. Risk is the condition for growth. Do you feel like you're stuck in a cycle, comfortable but not progressing? That's the deceptive nature of the comfort zone. It feels safe, but it silently traps you, keeping your potential hidden. Growth never happens where it's comfortable. As the philosopher André Gide once said, "You cannot discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." True transformation begins the moment you step beyond what feels safe. Picture this. Lisa, a talented but cautious marketing manager, was offered the chance to lead a high-stakes project. She hesitated, worried she might fail and damage her reputation. Instead of taking the leap, she handed the opportunity to a colleague. Over the next year, Lisa watched her colleague grow, earn promotions, and take on even bigger challenges, all while she remained in the same role. Frustrated, Lisa realized her fear of failure had cost her the chance to advance. Determined to change, she started saying yes to smaller risks, presenting ideas in meetings, mentoring junior staff, and taking on challenging clients. Each step built her confidence, and soon she was leading projects she once feared. The comfort zone is a place of stagnation disguised as security, but every moment spent there is a missed opportunity to grow. If you've been avoiding risks, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen, and what's the best? Often the fear of failure is far worse than the failure itself. Start small. Try something you've been avoiding, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, joining a new group, or learning a challenging skill. Celebrate each step outside your comfort zone, no matter how small, because each one brings you closer to your untapped potential. Here's a challenge for you. Choose one thing you've been putting off because it scares you. Write it down and then set a small, manageable goal to take the first step. For example, if public speaking terrifies you, start by sharing an idea with a small group of trusted colleagues. The next time, go bigger. Keep building momentum until the fear shrinks and your confidence grows. Now, reflect on this. When was the last time you took a meaningful risk? Did it help you grow? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else to step outside their own comfort zone. Remember, you are capable of far more than you realize, but only if you're willing to challenge yourself. When you step outside the comfort zone, you'll discover new strengths, new opportunities, and a life that's fuller and richer than you ever imagined. So, what's your first step today? 5. Waiting for the perfect moment. Start now with what you have. Have you ever found yourself waiting for the perfect moment? That ideal time when all the stars align and everything feels just right? It's a tempting illusion, but here's the truth. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It's something you create. The Stoics understood this well. As Seneca said, while we wait for life, life passes. The key to success isn't in waiting, it's in starting, even when the conditions feel less than ideal. Take the story of Alex, a young professional who dreamed of starting his own business. For years he told himself, "I'll begin when I have more savings, when the economy is better, when I feel fully prepared." But the right time never seemed to come. One day, his mentor asked, "What could you do today with what you already have?" That simple question flipped Alex's mindset. He started small, creating a business plan, reaching out to potential clients, and learning from his mistakes along the way. A year later, his side project had grown into a thriving business, all because he chose to act instead of waiting for perfection. Waiting for the perfect moment is often a mask for fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. But here's the liberating truth. You don't have to be ready. You just have to start. Each small step forward brings you closer to your goal, and with each step, you'll build the skills and confidence you thought you needed at the beginning. Here's a challenge for you. Write down one goal you've been putting off because you're not ready. Then, break it into the smallest possible step you can take today. For example, if you want to write a book, start by jotting down a rough outline or a single idea. If you're planning to change careers, send that first email to someone in your desired field. Action, no matter how small, is the antidote to procrastination. Now ask yourself this: what dream or goal have you been delaying? Share your first step in the comments. It might inspire someone else to take action too. Remember, progress doesn't come from waiting for perfection. It comes from taking imperfect action, learning along the way and embracing the journey. Your dream isn't as far away as it seems. It's just waiting for you to begin. So, what will you start today? Take the leap. You already have everything you need to take the first step. 6. Resentment. Forgiveness is true strength. Have you ever felt the weight of resentment? Like a heavy stone you carry every day, draining your emotional energy while leaving the person you resent entirely unaffected. Resentment is a silent thief. It consumes your peace, saps your joy, and keeps you chained to the very pain you wish to escape. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." True strength lies in forgiveness, not for their sake, but for yours. Consider the story of Emily, a team leader at a fast-paced tech company. A colleague undermined her during a crucial project, and while the team moved forward, Emily couldn't let go of the betrayal. Every interaction with that colleague felt like a battle, and the tension began affecting her focus, her team, and even her sleep. One evening, during a conversation with her mentor, she was asked, "Who is winning this conflict right now, your colleague or your resentment?" The question hit her hard. She realized the grudge wasn't punishing her colleague, it was punishing her. Emily decided to let go, not by excusing the behavior, but by choosing her peace over her pain. She set boundaries, focused on her team's success, and found herself sleeping better and thriving once again. Resentment doesn't change the past, but it can rob you of your future. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is an act of liberation. It doesn't mean condoning wrong actions, it means refusing to let those actions control you any longer. Start by acknowledging your feelings. Write down the anger, hurt, and frustration you feel, then release them, literally. Burn the paper, shred it, or simply throw it away as a symbolic gesture. Remind yourself that forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Here's a practical challenge. Think of one person you've been holding resentment toward. Reflect on how this grudge has affected your mental and emotional well-being. Then, take one step toward letting it go. It might be journaling your thoughts, having an honest conversation, or simply deciding to focus on the relationships that uplift you instead of the ones that drain you. Now ask yourself this: what could you gain if you let go of resentment? Share your thoughts in the comments, or tell us about a moment when forgiveness brought you peace. Your story could inspire someone else to free themselves from the weight of resentment. Remember, forgiveness is not weakness. It's one of the greatest strengths you can possess. When you let go of resentment, you reclaim your energy, your focus, and your ability to move forward. So, who or what will you forgive today? Choose peace. It's worth it. 7. The noise of the world. Rediscover peace in silence. Do you ever feel like the constant buzz of the world around you is drowning out your thoughts? In our hyper-connected lives, notifications, emails, and endless chatter pull us in every direction, leaving little room for clarity or focus. The Stoics understood the power of stillness. As Seneca wisely said, "Silence is the teacher of wisdom." True growth and peace come when we learn to turn down the noise and reconnect with ourselves. Let me share a story. Daniel, a graphic designer, always felt overwhelmed at work. His phone buzzed endlessly with social media updates, emails, and group chats. Every time he sat down to focus, another notification would pull him away. One day, his manager noticed his stress and asked, "What would happen if you silenced your phone for just 1 hour?" Skeptical but desperate for relief, Daniel tried it. That single hour became the most productive he'd had in months. Inspired, he began scheduling daily, quiet hours, putting his phone on Do Not Disturb, and immersing himself in meaningful tasks. Over time, Daniel found not only his productivity improving, but also his mental clarity and sense of peace. The world's noise can feel inescapable, but it's within your power to create silence. Start by identifying the biggest sources of distraction in your life. Is it your phone, background television, endless scrolling through news feeds? Take small steps to minimize these. Set your phone to Do Not Disturb during focused hours. Dedicate 10 minutes daily to meditation or journaling, and list 3 priorities to accomplish each day, then focus on them, uninterrupted. These simple practices carve out pockets of silence where you can think, reflect, and truly connect with yourself. Here's a challenge. Tonight, turn off all notifications for 1 hour. Use this time to reflect, read, or simply enjoy the quiet. Observe how it makes you feel. Share in the comments, what's one source of noise in your life, and how do you plan to minimize it? Your approach might inspire others to reclaim their own peace. Remember, silence isn't empty. It's full of opportunities to refocus, recharge, and rediscover what truly matters. By embracing moments of quiet, you'll improve not only your productivity, but also your connection with yourself and those around you. So, what's one step you can take today to turn down the noise? Start small and let the silence guide you toward a calmer, more meaningful life. 8. Chasing happiness. Seek meaning instead of short-term joy. Do you ever feel exhausted by the endless pursuit of happiness, like it's a finish line you're running toward but never quite reaching? The truth is, happiness isn't a destination. It's a byproduct of a life lived with purpose. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, said it best. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When we shift our focus from fleeting pleasures to meaningful pursuits, we unlock a deeper, more lasting sense of fulfillment. Consider the story of Rachel, a corporate professional who spent years chasing external milestones, promotions, luxury vacations, and the latest gadgets. She thought these achievements would bring her happiness, but the joy they provided was always short-lived. One day, a friend asked her a powerful question. If you stripped away the titles and possessions, what would still give your life meaning? That question lingered. Over time, Rachel began focusing on what truly mattered, mentoring young colleagues, reconnecting with loved ones, and volunteering for causes she cared about. She discovered that the pursuit of meaning brought her a sense of peace and happiness that no material achievement ever could. The pursuit of happiness often leads us astray when it's based on external outcomes. Instead of asking, "Will this make me happy?" ask, "Does this add value to my life or others' lives?" Happiness comes naturally when we align our actions with our values and find joy in the journey itself. Start by identifying activities that bring you a sense of purpose, not just a momentary high. Shift your focus from results to the process, appreciating the small but meaningful steps you take each day. Here's a challenge for you. Think about one area of your life where you've been chasing happiness, perhaps through achievements, possessions, or recognition. Then ask yourself, what deeper meaning or value could I focus on instead? Write it down and take one action today to align your life with that purpose. For example, if you've been striving for career accolades, consider how you can use your skills to help others or make a positive impact. Now, reflect on this. What's one thing that brings genuine meaning to your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to shift their focus from fleeting joy to lasting fulfillment. Remember, happiness isn't something you find by chasing it. It's something that finds you when you live with intention and meaning. So, what will you focus on today that truly matters? Begin your journey now and let happiness follow naturally. 9. Energy-draining habits. Focus on what brings you joy. Do you ever feel inexplicably drained, as though your energy is slipping through your fingers, even on a day without major challenges? These invisible leaks often stem from habits that serve no purpose but quietly exhaust us. The Stoics remind us to be intentional with our energy. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Similarly, we must stop wasting our energy on things that neither uplift us nor align with our purpose. Let's consider a common scenario. Chris, a software engineer, spent hours each evening scrolling through social media, telling himself it was a way to relax. But instead of feeling rejuvenated, he noticed a growing sense of fatigue and dissatisfaction. One day, a friend asked him, "How much of what you scroll through actually makes you happier or helps you grow?" That question stayed with him. Chris decided to track his daily habits and noticed just how much time he spent on activities that drained his energy without adding value. He began replacing social media time with evening walks, reading inspiring books, and learning guitar, activities that genuinely brought him joy. Within weeks, his energy and mood transformed. Energy-draining habits often go unnoticed because they're so ingrained in our routines. But identifying and replacing them with intentional, joyful activities can drastically improve your quality of life. Start by reflecting on your daily habits. Which ones leave you feeling depleted and which ones energize you? Make a conscious effort to minimize or eliminate activities that drain you, like endless scrolling or gossiping, and prioritize activities that fill you with enthusiasm, such as exercising, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a hobby. Here's a challenge for you. Write down 3 activities that drain your energy and 3 that uplift you. Commit to reducing time spent on the former and increasing time spent on the latter for the next week. Notice how this shift impacts your energy, mood, and overall outlook. Now, ask yourself this: what habit could you replace today to reclaim your energy and joy? Share your insights in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else to take action and make a similar change. Remember, your energy is your most precious resource. By cutting out draining habits and focusing on what truly brings you joy, you'll not only feel more vibrant, but also create a life that aligns with your goals and values. So what will you do today to protect and replenish your energy? Start now. Your future self will thank you. 10. The pressure for quick success. The power of patience. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, have you ever felt the weight of rushing to succeed? The allure of fast success tempts many, promising immediate results, but often leading to shallow gains and long-term setbacks. The Stoics remind us that true greatness is not a product of haste, but of perseverance. Seneca wisely observed, "Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together." Patience isn't just a virtue, it's a strategy for lasting success. Imagine Sarah, a budding entrepreneur eager to make her mark. She launched her online store with the goal of rapid growth, offering steep discounts and taking on every project she could find. While she initially saw a surge in sales, the lack of a long-term strategy soon led to overworked staff, dissatisfied customers, and mounting stress. Frustrated and on the brink of burnout, Sarah took a step back. She redefined her vision, focusing on building customer trust and delivering quality over speed. It took time, but her dedication paid off, creating a loyal customer base and a thriving, sustainable business. Patience is the secret ingredient to lasting success. When you shift your mindset from chasing quick wins to embracing steady progress, you'll find deeper satisfaction in your journey. Start by setting long-term goals and breaking them into smaller, achievable milestones. Celebrate each step forward, no matter how small, and remind yourself that every great accomplishment is built through persistence. Resist the temptation to compare your timeline to others. Your path is uniquely yours, and success earned through patience holds far more value. Here's a challenge for you. Think of one area in your life where you've been rushing for quick results. Write down a long-term goal and break it into 3 smaller steps you can start today. For example, if you're learning a new skill, focus on mastering one small aspect each week instead of aiming for perfection overnight. Track your progress and notice how patience transforms your experience. Now consider this. What would your life look like if you embraced the power of patience? Share your thoughts or a story of delayed success in the comments. Your journey might encourage someone else to pause, reflect, and trust their process. Remember, true success doesn't happen overnight. It's cultivated through persistence, resilience, and a willingness to grow over time. When you let go of the pressure for quick success, you create the space to build something meaningful and enduring. So, take a deep breath, trust the journey, and let patience guide you to the success you're destined for. 11. Unrealistic expectations. Redefine success on your terms. Have you ever felt crushed by disappointment because things didn't unfold the way you expected? Unrealistic expectations are the seeds of frustration. We envision perfection, but when reality doesn't match our vision, we end up disheartened. The Stoics remind us that peace comes from aligning expectations with reality. As Epictetus wisely stated, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The power lies in redefining success on your own terms. Consider Liam, a young professional aiming to excel in his new job. He set ambitious goals to outperform his colleagues, secure a promotion within months, and win accolades from his boss. But when his efforts didn't yield immediate results, Liam grew discouraged. He began doubting his abilities and felt like a failure. One day, during a reflective conversation with his mentor, he was asked, "What does success look like to you? Is it awards, or is it becoming better at what you do each day?" This shift in perspective allowed Liam to reassess his goals. Instead of chasing unrealistic milestones, he focused on incremental improvements, building skills, strengthening relationships, and finding pride in his progress. Over time, Liam not only met his goals but exceeded them, all while feeling more fulfilled. Unrealistic expectations are self-imposed barriers that block our growth. By redefining success, you remove the weight of perfection and embrace the beauty of progress. Start by evaluating your goals. Are they truly achievable, or are they shaped by external pressures and comparisons? Break larger ambitions into smaller, actionable steps that reflect your personal values. Celebrate each small victory and remind yourself that success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's unique to your journey. Here's a challenge for you. Think of one area in your life where you've been holding on to unrealistic expectations. Ask yourself, am I chasing this because it aligns with my values or because I think I should? Rewrite your goal to reflect what truly matters to you and identify one step you can take today to move forward. Now, take a moment to reflect. How have unrealistic expectations affected your sense of success? Share your thoughts or a story of how redefining your goals brought you clarity and fulfillment. Your experience might help someone else break free from their own pressures. Remember, success isn't about meeting impossible standards. It's about growth, effort, and living in alignment with your values. By letting go of unrealistic expectations, you create space for genuine progress, resilience, and joy. So what expectations can you release today to start redefining success on your own terms? 12. People-pleasing. Reclaim your authentic self. Do you often find yourself bending over backward to meet everyone's expectations, even at the cost of your own happiness? People-pleasing is a subtle trap. It disguises itself as kindness and connection, but in reality, it erodes your sense of self. The Stoics remind us that true freedom lies in living authentically. As Marcus Aurelius observed, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." Imagine Clara, a young professional who was the go-to person for every favor at work. Whether it was staying late, taking on extra tasks, or mediating conflicts, she couldn't say no. At first, she felt valued, but over time, Clara noticed a growing resentment and exhaustion. One evening, her friend asked, "When was the last time you did something just for yourself?" Clara couldn't answer. That realization was a turning point. She began setting boundaries, politely declining tasks that weren't her responsibility, and carving out time for her personal goals. Though it was uncomfortable at first, Clara found that her colleagues respected her more, and she felt lighter and more in control of her life. The habit of people-pleasing stems from a fear of rejection or judgment, but ironically, it distances us from the authentic connections we seek. Breaking free starts with recognizing your worth beyond external approval. Learn to say no when necessary, without guilt. Reflect on your core values and let them guide your decisions. Set boundaries to protect your energy, remembering that you can't pour from an empty cup. Here's a challenge for you. Think of one recent situation where you said yes, even though you wanted to say no. How might the outcome have been different if you had prioritized your needs? Write down a boundary you'd like to set this week, whether it's protecting your personal time or declining a task that doesn't align with your goals. Now, consider this. What would your life look like if you stopped living for others' approval and started living for your own values? Share your thoughts in the comments, or tell us about a time when setting a boundary transformed your life. Your story might inspire someone else to reclaim their authenticity. Remember, you don't need to please everyone to be worthy of respect and love. By embracing your authentic self, you'll attract people who value you for who you truly are, not for what you do for them. So, what's one way you can start living authentically today? Take the first step. You're worth it. 13. Gossip. Choose words that build, not break. This is it, the final, yet perhaps the most transformative step. Have you ever found yourself caught in conversations that tear others down rather than build them up? Gossip is a subtle thief. It may seem harmless or even entertaining, but it erodes trust, damages relationships, and chips away at your integrity. As Epictetus wisely said, be silent for the most part, or, if you speak, say only what is necessary and beneficial. The power of your words can shape not just your relationships, but the environment around you. Take the story of Megan, an office manager who often joined in casual gossip with her team during lunch breaks. At first, it felt like bonding, but over time, she noticed how these conversations bred distrust and negativity in the workplace. One day, Megan overheard a colleague sharing an unkind remark she had made about someone else. It stung. She realized that gossip was not just damaging others, it was corroding her own reputation. Megan made a conscious choice to change. The next time gossip surfaced, she gently redirected the conversation toward positive topics, like discussing team successes or shared hobbies. Her actions set an example, gradually shifting the office culture toward one of respect and collaboration. Words are powerful. They can either build bridges or erect barriers. To eliminate gossip from your life, start by pausing before speaking. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say kind, true, and necessary? If the answer is no, choose silence instead. When you encounter gossip, redirect the discussion to something positive or meaningful. Over time, this habit not only preserves your integrity, but also inspires others to follow your lead. Here's a challenge. For the next week, make a conscious effort to avoid all forms of gossip. Instead, find opportunities to uplift someone with genuine compliments or encouragement. At the end of the week, reflect on how this shift has affected your mood, relationships, and self-perception. Now think about this. What impact could you have on your community if your words consistently inspired trust and positivity? Share your thoughts in the comments, or tell us about a time when choosing silence or positivity transformed a situation. Your story might encourage someone else to embrace the same change. Gossip may seem small, but the ripple effects of eliminating it are profound. By choosing words that build instead of break, you nurture trust, respect, and deeper connections with those around you. So, will you take the final step and commit to a life of mindful, purposeful speech? The choice is yours, and it starts now. As we wrap up this journey through the 13 things you should quietly eliminate from your life, take a moment to reflect on what resonates most with you. Stoic philosophy reminds us that a meaningful life is not about accumulating more, but about subtracting what no longer serves us. By letting go of toxic habits, relationships, and mindsets, we make room for growth, clarity, and inner peace. Now, it's your turn to take action. Start small. Choose just one thing from this list to eliminate today and notice the shift it brings to your life. Transformation doesn't require grand gestures. It begins with quiet, deliberate choices. We invite you to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Your journey might inspire someone else to take their first step. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join us as we explore more Stoic teachings that help us navigate life with wisdom and strength. And here's a challenge to leave you with. What's one thing holding you back from the life you truly want? How will you let it go today? Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Until next time, live boldly, live purposefully. See you soon.